It is Saturday night. Michigan gets the victory over Minnesota. Second back-to-back week in a row. Michigan gets the victory on the road in absolutely dominant fashion, 52-10 over Minnesota. Really, it could have been like 63-3. Michigan gives up a touchdown on a fourth down play to end the first half. The defense had given up 13 points, the first team defense all season. Now they've given up 23. Okay, no big deal, I guess, in that regard. As a total, as a team, this team has now given up 40 points so far on the season, 6.66 per game. So before I get into my instant reactions, give me your one-word reaction down in the comments to Michigan's big-time 52-10 win over Minnesota tonight. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Mine was strictly just dominant. It was an absolutely dominant performance. I'm going with dominant. Let me know yours. I'll pin this comment below the video, or this question below the video. Reply to that. Give me your one-word reaction to tonight's big-time win. Number one instant reaction for me tonight is Michigan's the best team in college football. Look, I understand that Georgia looked pretty good tonight. 51-13 win over a ranked Kentucky team that beat Florida last week. That has looked pretty good so far this season. But no team in college football has looked as dominant as Michigan all year long. They've won every single game by 24 or more points. And those first three games where it was, 31-7, 31-3, all that different stuff, that looks like the aberration now. Okay? Now you're 3 games into the Big Ten season. Rutgers scored the first 7 points a couple weeks ago. Michigan 31 straight. Then last week, an absolute domination of Nebraska. You score 45 points. Nebraska could barely do anything. And then this week, 52 points against a Minnesota team on the road at night. They've got all the fans. They've got the environment. And Michigan is absolutely dominant. I don't think if you've watched all 6 games for Georgia, Texas lost today. Okay, Oklahoma, Florida State. There's a few teams. Ohio State struggled for a bit today. You can't tell me there's not been a more dominant team in college football. I don't care who they've played. Nebraska's a Big Ten team. Minnesota's a Big Ten team. Rutgers is a Big Ten team. It's not just East Carolina anymore. UNLV has looked pretty dang good. They won a few games, right? Bowling Green, they've looked pretty good too. So, this is not this terrible schedule everyone thinks it is. I know they haven't played a top 10 team or even a ranked team, but no team in college football has looked more dominant. I don't think Michigan's going to be number one tomorrow because of Georgia's 51-13 win over Kentucky, but I do think they're going to continue to close the gap, especially with Texas losing today. Michigan's going to take some of those first place votes from the Longhorns. I don't think many people can give them back to Georgia after this game. Let me ask you guys this question, though. Go down in the comments. Just give me a Y or an N. Should Michigan be ranked number one when the AP poll comes out tomorrow? I'm saying yes. I'm giving it a Y. Go down and let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments. Instant reaction number 2. J.J. McCarthy needs to be the player that Michigan is actively promoting for the Heisman. You can't tell me from Jim Harbaugh's time at Stanford when he had back-to-back Heisman runner-ups in Toby Gerhardt and then in Andrew Luck. Luck was again the runner-up in 2011 after Harbaugh left. So Stanford had 3 straight years with the Heisman runner-up. Right? 2 years ago, Michigan had the Heisman runner-up in Aiden Hutchinson. Last year, they could have had the Heisman winner had Blake Corum not got hurt against Illinois. At worst, he might have become in second place. Okay, J.J. McCarthy at this point has captured the attention of college football fans across the country. 3 touchdowns tonight. 1 through the air, stayed in the pocket, got hit. Colson Loveland downfield, hit him, maybe a half stride back. But then McCarthy puts the ball in the end zone twice on the ground. Both times he had to make a move, juke somebody out of their jockstrap, get in the end zone. He is Michigan's best chance at the Heisman Trophy. And frankly, they were gushing about him in the third quarter, the announcers were. And I think in a lot of ways, McCarthy's got the look. He's got the demeanor. He's got the approach. He looks so cool and collective out there. He has one big-time game. I said this earlier in the week. If you watch the show, he's a 300 passing yard game and 4 or 5 touchdown night from going from the best player in the Big Ten, which he is right now, to absolute superstardom across college football, kind of like a Tim Tebow style mania. I don't think he's going to actually get there, but you can't tell me there isn't a more marketable player in all of college football. And that, folks, is why I think Michigan needs to promote J.J. McCarthy as their Heisman Trophy candidate. 14 of 20 tonight, 219 yards, 1 touchdown passing, 2 touchdowns rushing. As part of those rushing, what do you have in yards? McCarthy, 4 carries for 17 yards and those 2 touchdowns. But I didn't win my prize picks today, okay? I got the yards with Kyle McCord there today. It was like 289. But J.J. McCarthy, just shy of what he needed passing. And then the Don had to get over 49.5 yards. I did not hit that. Edwards finishes tonight with only 4 carries for 20 yards. Not sure really what's going on with him. Don did have 4 catches as well for 25 yards, so 45 yards total. So I'm going to lose my prize picks for college football today. I've got 4 picks going tomorrow. $5 wins me 50. You guys should be going with Prize Picks, the ultimate daily fantasy app. I don't play daily fantasy, but I have been loving Prize Picks all season long. With Prize Picks, all you have to do is take a look at your favorite players, college or pro, NFL, NCAA, Major League Baseball, NBA. They give you a stat. All you got to decide is more or less. I have to decide that McCord's going to go more than like 289. JJ is going to go more than 225 or something, whatever it was. The Don was going to go more than 49.5 yards rushing. Hit 1 of 3, I think it is. So I didn't win it no matter what. You hit all 3, you can go 3 times, 5 times, 25 times your money. I've got a bet going out tomorrow with college football. I've got 4 NFL players trying to win big time money and just risking $5. So get going with Prize Picks today. PrizePicks.com/CLNS gives you a $100 deposit match. I don't play daily fantasy. I've been addicted to Prize Picks all season long because it's so easy. You don't have to compete against, big time players who know what they're doing, etc. It's super easy to get started, and you have to worry about these complex lineups every single week like you do in fantasy football. Just go check out your favorite players, see what the stat projections are, and decide more or less, up to 25 times your money every single time you make some Prize Picks. So go to PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use the promo code CLNS for a $100 deposit match with Prize Picks. Number 3 instant reaction tonight is this Michigan football defense is stupid good. It is just mind-boggling how good they have been so far this season. 6 games in, 40 points given up. And the starting defense now has only given up 23 points. 10 of them came tonight in the first half. 7, I don't know. That was kind of a fluke-ish play at the end of the half. They decided to just run down the clock and then throw the ball, deep on Mike Sainristil on the outside. They get a lucky touchdown, or this would have been an absolute just manhandling by this Michigan football team. Could have been 52-3, could have been 60-3, something like that. Ends up being 52-10. 2 pick sixes tonight. Okay, 2 pick sixes. Will Johnson, second play of the game, boom, to the house. He reintroduced himself to college football as one of the best players in America. And then later on, Keon Sabb himself a pick 6. Is Keon Sabb a starter, by the way? We're going to talk about that here in a moment. The secondary is so deep. It is so deep, the secondary is. You've barely even seen Rod Moore play this year. Josh Wallace was supposed to be the second cornerback. I'm not saying an afterthought at this point. Mike Sainristil might have taken over that outside corner position, but this defense just in general is stupid good. The defensive line depth is scary good. I mean, you saw Josiah Stewart in there making plays. Mason Graham with a club hand. He's in there batting down the ball. Braden McGregor, Derek Moore, Trap Money Benny, Kenneth Grant, right? Cam Good, the third stringer, he's in there as a 5th, 6th year player making all kinds of plays. This team only gave up 10 points today. 7 of them came on that last bomb. This defense, folks, it's going to be up there with 1997. It's going to be up there with 2021, 2016, 2006 as the best Michigan football defense in the modern history of college football. Guys, we're approaching 28,000 subscribers. We're about 50 away. So if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Or if you enjoy the show, send the link, youtube.com/Michigan TV to all your friends who love Michigan football. And hey, might like to see me do a post-game show from the crib, or tomorrow I'll be back in the studio with our Overreaction Sunday video with all the graphics and everything you expect here from the Michigan Football Report. So subscribe to the channel. Try and hit 28,000 subscribers at least tomorrow. So hit that sub button if you want daily Michigan football videos. Number 4, talked about the defense being scary good. The depth of this team is just getting insanely good. I mean, think about tonight. Kalel Mullings. He's kind of reintroduced himself. I put on Twitter, he's turning himself into young Hassan Haskins, a linebacker for 3 years, switching over to running back. He might be your starting running back next season. Don't count him out, Kalel Mullings, as being your starting running back. The defensive line, the second string defensive line is maybe, a top 5 or 10 defensive line in all of college football. Now, the secondary. Rod Moore is not playing a ton. His backup, Keon Sabb, turning into an all-conference player. Will Johnson doesn't play for 3 or 4 games. He comes back. Good game last week. Pick 6 tonight. I mean, what more do you want? And I'll ask this question. Is Keon Sabb now the starter? Has he replaced Rod Moore? Or is Michigan just going to have to find a place for him in this defense? There was some talk I saw on Twitter tonight that maybe Mike Sainristil moves to the outside and Keon Sabb, Rod Moore, and Kalel Mullings, you've got to get your best 5 on the field, and Josh Wallace might not fall into that. I'm not sure if that's going to work against a team like Ohio State or Penn State, but in the short term, where you don't have teams that can pass the ball that well, I wouldn't be surprised if that could be something Michigan consider, moving Josh Wallace to more of like a 6 defensive back, keeping Keon Sabb, Rod Moore, McCarthy Page, Will Johnson, and Mike Sainristil as your 5 starting defensive backs. It's something to consider. One thing I want to consider is Donovan Edwards, the play, the performance. He was out there tonight. I'm still a little concerned about him. Only 4 carries tonight, right? Blake Corum with 9 carries. Kalel Mullings with 8 carries. Donovan Edwards only 4 carries. I know he had the 4 catches, but are you worried about Donovan Edwards? Let me know down in the comments. Just tell me, yes, I'm worried about him. No, I'm not. What do you expect from him going long-term into the season as Michigan is now halfway through the regular season, 6 of 12 games, and the Don does not have a single touchdown so far this year. I almost celebrated my son. I've told you guys I've been trying to barter ice cream or toys or something like this. Presents if Donovan Edwards scores. He let Preston Yoder down again one more time, so it's a sad night in the Yoder household. Preston goes to bed without ice cream, without a toy, because no touchdown from the Don. Last instant reaction is, does this staff trust Josh Wallace? I kind of thought it was eye-opening on that last play of the first half for Minnesota when they went deep. It wasn't Josh Wallace on the outside. It was Mike Sainristil. And the more you looked at the tape tonight, it's like, oh, wow, Josh Wallace is not in the game and Mike Sainristil's on the outside. Or just Wallace is in the game, but Mike Sainristil's on the outside on the 1 or the 2 receiver opposite of Will Johnson. I don't know what to make of it. Has Wallace been moved off of the CB2 for this defense? Is that now Mike Sainristil's position? I have to watch the all-22, kind of take a look deeper in the tape as we're just kind of instantly reacting here. I want to kind of see the alignment a little bit more, but I did find it peculiar that so many times tonight I looked at the defensive alignment, and it's Mike Sainristil, who is normally at the nickel defensive back or kind of always guarding the slot or in some sort of run support position, is on the outside, a position that Josh Wallace seemingly had locked up the first few weeks of the season. So something to keep an eye out for, but does the staff trust Josh Wallace? I think is a question we've got to consider. Before we go, guys, appreciate everyone watching. If you made it this far, if you like that win over Minnesota, 52-10, give me a like on the video and help the video spread the love for the gospel. Get this out in front of more Michigan football fans here on YouTube. I'll be back on Sunday. Put the video about midday or so. Michigan football overreaction Sunday. I'll watch all the film tonight and have much more on this game coming for you guys tomorrow morning. Till I see you then, go Blue.